see, wasn't it? Did we do 5?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did have a bonus.
Well, I only brought up 3, huh?
So the bonus, because I took this across the states, a viewer gave it to me. This is the first viewer one that they gave to me, and I didn't know all the laws through the states.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm taking this one.
Is that a buck?
It's a buck. It's the 112.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's not the newest ones. That's a really old one.
No, this has got micarta. I love micarta. I like the way it feels.
And see, it can't be taken apart, but the new ones you can take apart.
Yeah.
You can put the snaggle tooth on it.
Because I have one of these. I have the 110 version of this, the micarta, but it's got the rivets like this.
Right, and the new ones you can take apart.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna probably buy next.
I want to get one of the new ones too.
Maybe next Christmas.
They're even making autos now.
Yeah, they've got those for a while.
I can't.
So I did
those.
my 6. I brought this extra 6 one. It got a lot of use. I like that buck.
Gotta have some big boys.
Oh yeah.
This one I think is the best deal. If you're talking about bang for your buck, because you can get these for 125 bucks.
Hell yeah.
You know, pretty much everywhere. You know, they're like right around that price bracket. And you got the Oz 10, Japanese Oz 10 stainless steel, which is I think is a very good steel. And you got G10, thick G10 handle scales. You got partial liners. It's a very good knife. Good knife for everything. You know, hunting, fishing, self-defense, whatever you need it for. You know, I think this is an excellent knife.
Okay. And with the polish, it's pretty cool.
With that,
I'd say
that's custom.
The Voyager might give it a run for its money, but with
Well,
the
this
liners,
this like above $100. Voyager, I would say, is the best knife.
oh,
for under
$60 bucks,
$100. Yeah.
$70 probably now, something like that. But yeah, with the liners here, you get so much more durability.
Yeah, these were always Cold Steel's strongest knives were the Espadas.
Yeah. I'm too scared to leave the drop on my finger.
That's an excellent knife. It's made, designed after like a Spanish Navaja,
Yeah,
Spanish style knife.
and that's where I would probably be.
Navajas were fighting knives. Their purpose was for self-defense, just like a Italian stiletto.
I do love how even the Voyager, you can choke up right here,
Mm-hmm.
get that extra grip angle. I did bring that Voyager you gave me.
It's got a nice rear grip,
Oh yeah, that's
so you can stick the blades, and then you got 7.5 inch.
yeah, for sure.
That's what I like about these.
You know, my hardest thing to get over the, you know how they go lock when they lock that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the chubbies on my thumb, and then I can never get it.
I don't even pitch it.
So
I
I
do
get
it like this.
if I get the bone of my thumb, I don't ever have that problem.
I think I'd do it like this one.
But yeah, if I get my chubby right there, I can push and push, and my
You
chubby's
can,
just
see, you can see I got a callus.
yeah. But as soon as I found out, oh, get my bone, not the chubby part of my thumb, it won't ever work. I got to get my actual bone on it to push it to make it actually engage. It took me forever to figure that out because I got too much squishies right there. So
To me, this is the best knife for under $100.
yeah.
I don't think there's
What's the other blade shape? The one you gave me?
the one I got in my car, the Bronze or the
Yeah.
drop point. They call it drop point.
Yeah.
To me, it looks
That
like a
one's.
Bronze.
I love a Tonto for utility. I use this point for the utility
Mhm.
and save the front tip.
The Yakoti,
Yeah.
the extra cutting edge. It's good for snap cuts. Like you can fight. Pow, pow.
And that's what I open the box with. That.
Yeah, 'cause the snap cut will go like free.
I'll never put the point of my Tonto in there. I'd always use that one to cut it at a slight angle on the tape. And it just saves that front tip always, you know.
I'm just a big fan of the American Tonto
Yeah, I love it.
because I think it's just tough. I mean, this is a really strong blade.
So this is the large, right?
Right.
There's an extra large.
Which is humongous.
And this is the regular Recon.
That's a large.
This is the large?
That's the
I thought
large.
this was the regular. I thought they had a large.
No, they have a micro,
A mini.
a medium, large, and XL.
Okay, so this is
The XL they don't sell anymore,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
but that was
Was that
always
one?
the large size.
Okay, so this
Oh,
is the
but
large.
pretty much all the Cold Steel knives that have 4-inch blades are larges.
So is that one? That's
That's a 5.5. This,
they don't make any other Voyagers. No, they did make many Voyagers for a little bit.
yeah, they made all sorts of cycles.
Yeah.
But the mini ones, I didn't like them because I don't like the grips on them. My hand wouldn't fit my grip right.
The only thing I hate about, I don't use my serrations. That's there for emergencies. But if you do this and you pull across them, you know, they're scraping you, raking you just a little bit, but you know, there's
Serrations don't play; they bite.
And as long as you don't, you know, it's never cut me, but you feel them. You feel your finger go swoosh right by it. For when you're dropping it that way, I would be careful for sure if you had serrations. But I don't use them. I used to use them on my knives. Oh, cut the box, whatever. But I'll save these for strict emergencies. That seatbelt cutting, I want it as sharp as it could be.
It's funny, I got all the expensive choices, but this one I carry the most out of my mega folders.
I mean, you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose it. Confiscation.
I don't know,
or
I just
anything.
feel like it could do anything. And it's, you know, it just says that gives me that aura of confidence.
Oh yeah.
So like, I think if I have this in my pocket, I think I'm prepared as I can be for anything with a knife.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, zombies come at me, they're in trouble.
Well, that's if I were to choose again, this one just screams to me wicked, wicked. That's when me and my buddy were looking at knives and we're like, oh, let's get one. And we both got one at the same time in the other color. But if I would have been looking at that one price wise, I would have got the Brong.
Yeah, they make
Voyager,
what Ford. What you got either the clip point
drop point
or the Chris
Oh yeah, that's right. They
the
did make
Chris.
Chris.
and on the Brong and the
Tonto.
Tonto. Those 4 different blades.
Yeah.
You can
I would have went with that for value if I would have been looking at them, the Voyagers.
I don't know. I like the. If I was just gonna get one, it'd be tough because I like the Brong too. The Brong's
Well,
in my Brong's in my bug out bag. That's why I carry my bug out bag.
I did bring it. I think it's in the front.
I always keep it in my bug out. I carry a Brong and
But to me, yeah, this has no utility. It's never pulled when I was at work. It's just this.
kind of hard to resharpen.
Yeah, I don't even want to try. I've only done the tips, so it'll grab your skin.
You have to use like one of those circular stones
See how that's grabbing skin right there.
because you can't use a flat stone. You gotta use like a circular stone.
Yeah, and it's not
A
good
stone
for
that's got like a curve to it.
Definitely not utilitarian, so that's why we go with the Voyager if you're going 1.9 or all 9.
I think that was designed after the helmet breaker, the Japanese
Yeah.
helmet breaker or something like that.
I would have bought one of
remember.
those from Cold Steel, but everyone complained about the sheath is wooden and it cracks. It comes cracked in the mail. So you're going to order this $200 knife that's going to have a cracked wooden sheath.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I almost ordered
I've
it.
always loved these, how lightweight they are.
Yes, and in
they,
pocket.
And they store away real nicely in your pocket.
That's smooth. I can get in there without a bump on the back.
It's almost like
These are my small
To me, it's almost like
pockets.
a stiletto.
Yeah,
It's got like that long, narrow blade, like a stiletto.
that's my small pockets too. These are the smallest pockets I probably have.
Awesome blade.
Yes, I definitely love the Voyager. I would get the Voyager probably over if I needed the folder bug out or the 4 Max Scout. One of those two.
I bring a couple of these in here too.
Now the Pentagon, if it was just a strictly defensive knife, low
They
key,
make these all sorts of different ways too.
low key covert.
They make them. They make a dagger.
Yeah.
They make an OTF. And they make this. The OTF is really nice. It's one of the nicest OTFs on the market.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Next to like a Hawk. The Hawk is like the best. But it's an OTF that doesn't have a whole lot of blade play. I absolutely love these. A lot of people put down, SOG or SOG or whatever. Now it's owned by GSM, just like Cold Steel.
Cold Steel GSM.
But the quality's the same though. This one's just like my old one. And I absolutely love this knife. This knife is a really nice knife to carry every day. It's not heavy or
Right.
doesn't weigh you down. It's not too big.
That
and bulky.
covert tactical.
But yet the blade is still like 3.6 inches long, so it's still a pretty good sized knife, and the handle's really cool. And to me, the XR lock from SOG is like one of the safest crossbar locks, crossbar style locks, or axis style locks, whatever you want to call them. I absolutely love good blade steel. CTS 6HB is one of my favorites. Awesome.
And you like the the Clever Girl forever there too.
Oh yeah, I like the Clever Girl,
which
too.
has always been on my list.
But I stopped showing those because, you know, usually when a knife gets like blade play, up and down blade play, I stopped showing it. And my Clever Girl's got up and down blade play for me. These are the knives that can handle me. And the same thing goes for what other one? The Atlas lock. I developed up and down blade play my Engage Atlas lock. I still like that knife though, but yes, it's not one I would want to fidget with too much because I'd be worried about blade play.
And did you see the CRKT Ritual in all black?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I have a Ritual, the other Ritual.
The white and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, ivory, blue, whatever. Like when I saw the all blacked out one, I'm like, oh, still, that is gonna get that one.
You know, it's sort of kind of gimmicky.
Well, yeah, but that blacked out one looks
It looks
more
cool.
gimmicky.
It's just for fun, you know. To me, that's what.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. It looked better to black for fun factor to me than in the other
Right.
ivory blue.
I always like those crazy looking Persian blades,
For sure.
just because I think it's a cool factor to it.
Yeah.
Not
Now,
necessarily because it has to be
that one was
purpose or anything.
popping. Definitely popping on that knife. They had a wow factor too.
Yeah, these knives are all knives I would carry every day.
And use.
This one's I carry pretty much every day. It's my favorite knife to carry. This one I bought for $325, and it was beat up. And that's the reason why it's all this stuff. Because I got new scales for it. Cause originally I had orange G10 scales. They were kind of beat up looking. You didn't have to clean them and stuff. And so I got these scales from John and transformed it.
Yeah.
But this is all original parts. They even had this deep carry pocket clip from Lynch Northwest and had the skip bearings already in it. And so all what I did really was just get the scales and polish them. So, but these knives are hard to get. And I always tell people, don't worry about the blade steel, because if you're going to be worried about the blade steel with these, you're going to spend a lot of money. Because these with like I don't know, any of the fancy powdered steels or whatever on the secondary, because they're almost impossible to get from the retail because the buyers buy them out and then they resell them. And the resale price is always about twice as much as they originally cost. Normally these cost like about $450 or something like that. This one right here, the D2 ones were like $375 when they first came out. If they had G10 scales like this one. And so, I paid less than what it cost when it was brand new, about $50 less. And I put my elbow grease in.
A lot of elbow grease, little blood, sweat, and tears in there.
Now it's my favorite one. Now all the ones I have. So I do have a couple with the fancy steel. That's what I know. I don't recommend that. I think it's too much money. Yeah. I don't know why I did it.
Well, if it's a low rust, that's all me. I want something that doesn't rust right away.
I have the drop point in M390, and I have a Shark's Foot in LMAX, and I never use them. They're just collectors. The only ones I use are the D2 ones.
So I could sharpen the cheap stainless and D2. What is this one? S35.
Yeah.
I can get it to cut paper after it's dull.
S35 VN is an excellent steel.
So almost any of these on the table, I could probably get it to cut paper.
This one has excellent steel too. 154 steels. It used to be one of my favorite steels of all time because it's easy to sharpen. It holds a good edge.
So you were saying though on one of them, the different grinds in the blades, if it's the saber grind, the flat grind, it's going to change the sharpening as you keep sharpening.
Yeah, how thin it is behind the edge.
What would be the one to sharpen for the longest amount of time before you'd have to?
It'd be a hollow.
A hollow?
Yeah, hollows
Like
are,
this? Or
Hollows are always thinnest behind the edge.
This is hollow?
Yeah.
And what's a saber?
The saber would be like this one.
Okay.
There is no hollow.
Okay, because this one has that. It's got myself again. So this one would be able to sharpen for the longest.
Well, this would be
amount of time.
called a saber because you got the flat that goes partially through the blade, and then this is a saber flat ground. So it's flat ground down. This one would be a saber hollow ground.
Okay. because the top is flat and then it has it
Right.
hollowed in the middle.
This is full flat.
Full flat. And I always thought that would be the easiest, but it's going to get thicker as you keep sharpening it, right?
Right. But it's also really makes a good slicer
Right.
for like doing food stuff. This is full flat.
So on the
This is saber hollow.
hollow ground, once you get past a certain point, then it's going to have to be
It'd be a funky knife.
a long time before
You wouldn't
get
want
there.
the knife after you got it all the way up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No.
You have a lot of sharpening with the hollow grind.
Yeah. Because that's what I was like, oh, I want to get, just so I can do field sharpening to paper cutting again, from dull to paper cut. And then I'm like, well, is it going to change? After you said that in one video, I'm like, I couldn't get one of them. Like, is it the grind? Am I already to that
Right.
point where it's going to be getting thicker and thicker as I keep trying to
The only downside to a hollow grind is that it makes the blade weaker.
Right,
When you got the saber flat ground, see, all this would be filled in with steel.
right.
And so you got that more strength behind the edge. And so, to me, a saber flat grind is better for a combat blade, or maybe a heavy-duty camp knife or something.
Right.
You know, where you're actually going to be doing taunting and
Chopping.
and stuff like that. You want to have as much thickness. Then you want thickness behind the edge.
Right.
If you're just using it for cutting chores, this is better. One thing I always liked about the way that the American Tonto is that you got the saber flat ground tip for strength. So it gives you a lot of tip strength. But you also have the nice cutting edge. So it's like you got a little bit of two worlds.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
why. That's one reason why I like. Then it's always thick all the way to the tip, so it's like a real strong blade.
Yeah,
That's why I like Tontos.
Yeah.
The This is a Lindsey Thompson design. He's the one that pretty much developed the American Tonto. Before then, it was like it had more of a belly to it.
Yeah, curve on there.
Right. The real Japanese Tontos aren't shaped like this. They're like
Yeah.
more of a.
I love that point just for utility. I never use the front tip. It's always that point there to open a box, to even cut the drywall. I'm using that point. I'm just coming into it.
Excellent. And I've heard rumors that they're going to stop making these. I think that'd be a mistake. I think that'd be a mistake for GSM. Those fields.
Well, I saw them come out with a ton of their knives with new handle colors almost all the way across. I thought they brought out new handle colors for them for a second.
But to me, this is a staple for Colt Steel. Sure. You know, it's like one of the staple knives, just like the Espadas, the Recons. They're all staple knives. Towel Wars. Towel Wars sort of got me burned out because like the new ones, I don't like
Yeah.
that problem. They go into the fixed plate mode. But these, everybody always gets the smaller one for these Spydercos. But I like this one because I like the way it fits my hand. So that's always important to me. That's the reason why I don't really carry a lot of small knives, because I like knives that give me a full grip.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be having my hand hanging off the end of the knife and stuff.
Well, my favorite knives that if I'm carrying a Recon or a Frenzy, I got a little knife. If I got the Frenzy, I got the little keychain knife on my keychain, and those knives.
That's a letter opener.
They get more use than any of my big ones because I'm not pulling those for the small job. I'd rather dull that thing up. The little tiny one I could almost throw away.
My
see
favorite
that
small
big
knives are
one.
these.
What are they? What are they? What are Stiletto's favorite small knives? They're probably right there on the table, but stay tuned for the next one and find out. All right, guys, stay tuned.